I remember my first day. You remember when you first started? Oof, where are we now? Okay, I got 5 cards, 5 random cards on my card deck. These are little notes that I leave for myself. Ain't no coincidences around here. Alignment. Alignment makes me think of blood sugar and the autonomic nervous system. Alignment. Like a lot of us, we're experiencing like our sugar levels are like this all day long, forever, stuck in the stress response, stuck with too high insulin, not enough melatonin, not enough nervous system safety. Alignment, like having a stable blood sugar, having a stable body temperature, having stable oxygen levels, nutrient levels, even muscle on the body, alignment. That's what makes me think of stability in the blood sugar. So on that note too, right, one of my coworkers, just quick story, they've been told that they're pre-diabetic. I was like, bro, everybody is pretty much pre-diabetic at this point. It's not a big deal, it doesn't really run in your family, but you could do a few things to help your blood sugar stay regulated. I was like, did you know that you can drink apple cider vinegar, a little water down in water 30 minutes before you eat, and it will cut your blood sugar spike by 30%? 30% is a lot when you're, in a rough spot. 30% is a lot and it adds up over time. So 30 minutes before you're eating your food, you're having a little apple cider vinegar, and it could be anything, right? Like when I first started my health, I would go, okay, my my sister loves ice cream. I also love ice cream. And so she'd say, Rachel, you want to go get ice cream? And I'd be like, sure. But then I would have my apple cider vinegar before. So you want to like work hard, play hard, try it out. You can also eat protein before you eat any carbohydrates or any sugary meal as well, and that will slow the blood sugar spike down. You could do a few squats before you eat, activate extra glucose transporters, and that'll help clean up some sugars, right? I could do 10 squats before I eat. Tremendous. I could go for a walk afterwards. I could do those squats afterwards, right? Because you're a biochemist. You can scoop these sugars up, scoop them up, get in alignment. What else we know about insulin sensitivity, bringing sugar into cell, is that it's really important to be in line with the light cycle, to go to bed at night and have the melatonin release so we can be insulin sensitive the next day. So anyway, that's what I think about when I think about alignment. And keep the door open. Keep the door open makes me think about keep the door open to alignment, to keep the door open to alternate possibilities, okay? I get this pre-diabetic diagnosis, I get these symptoms, keep the door open. Like your body is always healing, there's nothing that you need to do, there's nothing that you need to do. The body is constantly going towards a state of healing, even with the blood sugar being like this all the time. The reason that it goes up and comes down is because the blood sugar, the body is trying to regulate it, right? Even if it gets low, the body's always trying to regulate it, bring it back up. So constantly are we trying to be brought back to the middle of our oxygen levels, and this is what we call homeostasis or allostasis. And so the body's always striving for balance, it's always healing. Justice, Libra energy. Libra is about balance, it's about the scales, and justice is kind of like everything's balancing out all the time. Like we were just talking about this with the hormones, with the blood sugar, everything is always balancing out. So, and justice always means truth too, right? So like when we're more regulated in our blood sugar, we have more capacity for our immune system to work, more capacity for our intuition to be stronger about, what is my intuitive sense about this person? Like, what is their alternate motives? How do I feel about this? Is this a good person or a bad person? Should I go and do this, or should I spend some time myself? Justice allows the clarity, right? The stability of the blood sugar, stability of the hormones allows for clarity. It allows for a higher frontal cortex situation going on, instead of being in the amygdala, in the hindbrain, and being guided by emotions. We can be in the forebrain and have more connection with the cerebellum, better glucose control. Isn't this all making sense? You're not here to prove yourself. You're not here to prove yourself. So like when you're going on your health journey, I'm starting this, right. I don't have to do anything to prove that I am already making changes, right? Like, yes, you make changes. Like when you first start out, you have this supersonic idea about like, I'm going to be so disciplined. I'm going to be so ripped and shredded. You know, just you having those thoughts, like be so happy with the littlest things in life. Like you having the thoughts is already changing the biochemistry. You're already getting into a healthier place by believing that you can get to a certain place. So don't beat yourself up for not following what you plan to do, because life is not about plans. It's just about like you're going in a certain direction. Sometimes you just get off that direction, just like the blood sugar. Just like the blood sugar, we're weaving and flowing, and then yet here we are going in this same little direction back into the middle. We're constantly going in this direction, so it's all good. Don't be mean to yourself. You're not here to prove yourself. You're already doing it just thinking about it. Constricted. Like I don't know, you feel constricted sometimes. My thing is constriction. I am constricted unconsciously, and like the most challenging part for me in being constricted is when I go to work and when I'm like, so I serve at a restaurant, serving tables, right? Dealing with the people, physically engaged in the movement of the serving process. And, sometimes like I try to be aware of how constricted I become when I'm in this stressed out place, when I'm thinking about a million things that I need to do, and trying to relax. So like I do a lot of things in the morning to try and prep myself before I go to work. I try and find a moment of stillness where I am just like consciously relaxing. Like relax your butt cheeks. A lot of us do that anal clenching, that subconscious. Are you clenching your butt cheeks right now? Loosen the base of your spine so that all the energy can flow up and down your spine. Every time, Joe Dispenza says, every time we take a little breath in, we have cerebral spinal fluid that is flowing up and down our central nervous system. The central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord, and we are sending out signals from the central nervous system, our central intelligence agency in our bodies, to the whole body, to the whole vicinity, all the organs, all your limbs. We're sending out a signal. So when we have tightness around areas of the central intelligence signaling, like the energy doesn't flow. And think about a lot of times people get stuck in their hips, they gain weight in their hips. We have lack of blood flow down our hips, down in our legs. Our legs are so important for, our legs hold the most oxygen. They're like, think about all that muscle down in your legs. If you cut your body off, you'd lose a lot of weight. The legs are like your power, your central power. They scoop up a lot of sugar. And it's also important that the legs are strong because they're pumping all the blood flow back up to the heart. You're pumping all the oxygen, everything back upwards. Also practice your constrictions. That's what the best thing about weight training is. You are literally practicing constriction and expansion. It is so beautiful. You're practicing, talking about the blood sugar being up and down, like a heartbeat. Open, close, night and day, yin and yang, testosterone and cortisol, boom, boom, expansion, contraction. Like, no matter what, you are constantly expanding and contracting in every single moment. My eyelids are blinking, my lungs are expanding, contraction, my heart is, everything in the body, expanding, contraction. And, it's going to do this process no matter what, but when you are communicating with your muscular system, with your nervous system, with your central nervous system, everything slows down, and your body, when we exercise, we know we get healthier. We know that our heart rate drops. Our heart has to work less for us to actually be in just a calm state. Isn't that so beautiful? You practice, you exercise, so you can feel more relaxed and at peace. And those expansion contractions, like people do yoga, people do Pilates, people just walk. I just walk a lot of times. People lift weights. Like, there's so many ways that you can practice this expansion contraction. Even Wim Hof teaches breath work, you know? So it's like you got options if you need options. And it's just about developing a practice that, you know, expansion, contraction, every night, every day, a circadian rhythm, right? Like to get into the rhythm, to get with this regulation of the blood sugar, we are guided by the light cycles. So expansion would be the sun comes up every single morning, expand. I am becoming insulin sensitive when I engage with the light cycle, and then I constrict at night. I become insulin resistant at night. Everything is shutting down at night. I got my melatonin booming. I got my immune system surveying the area, cleaning out the brain, cleaning out everything I don't need, you know? And a lot of us, we're just not getting enough of this deep sleep, this deep cleansing at night. You know, think about your house. If you start just accumulating a bunch of stuff, you never clean up, you know, it just becomes dirty. It becomes unkept, a hoarder house, you know? And essentially the body is just like that. The body is the first home. So you want to make sure like you're in constant recovery each night. And then during the day, I'm engaging in this light cycle, in this beautiful, beautiful light cycle, okay? So anyway, I'm going to leave this here. I hope this video is helpful for you in some way. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I want to say. I do have this quote right here that's kind of pulling at me. May you always be blessed with the clarity to know what is and what isn't for you. You know, your immune system is your intuition. It's your guidance, your mitochondria, your cells. They're all listening all the time. I love this picture. I look at it like, if a day goes by where I don't think about this picture and I don't look at it, ask me if I'm okay. Because when I look at this picture, like it brings me back, it reminds me of like why I'm here on earth. It just reminds me of like the beauty of life around me. It reminds me of the smile of a stranger. And yeah, our intuition to know what is and what isn't for us. Like a majority of my life, like I think, you know, I was just saying yes to things. Like I had no intuitive guide. I had no like guiding compass, and I would go and do things and then I would feel like empty afterwards, like not fulfilled, because I didn't have a sense of my own intuition. And so, you know, that's what I've just been the last few years, like sitting in my own energy, trying to work with my nutrition, my biochemistry, and get sharper, be able to know, you know, what is really gonna make, you know, what steps can I take that is really gonna make me feel fulfilled, not make me, allow me to feel whole and like I'm on the right path and centered. And you know, I just love sharing this information with people. It's like just so fun for me to be able to do this. I just, you know, because of the way that it's made me feel. So I wish you the best of luck. You know, if you know anybody who also is like struggling with their mental health in some way, struggling with some type of diagnosis, pre-diabetes, whatever, some energy deficiencies, you know, please share this with them. And you can like, share, and subscribe if you want to follow along with me. But as always, I do wish you the best of luck, and I will catch you next time.